Did you say one? You moved away from your microphone.
Gosh darn it, Notch. We're back here with the Paragon Competitive League 11. I'm sorry that my co-caster is being so unprofessional. We may have to remove him from the casting team quite soon. I would never do that to my favorite friend, another Notch. Please bring us into this next game.
Oh my gosh. Guys, we are back in game number 2. Guile Esports versus Asura Rage. Guile Esports with map control, objective control, and just allowing Regal to be a bully. If I'm Asura Rage this game, Pith, Shinbi has got to go. Ban that hero. Do not let Regal pick that hero up. But you run the risk, though. This is the thing. You guys talked about this yesterday, Pith, of the amount of bans. We only have 1 ban per team right now.
Yeah.
We were rating Epic's rules state at 40 heroes. We could do 2 bans per team. So we're not quite there yet, which I really, hopefully soonish we get to that. So every 3 weeks slowing down. I'm not sure when that's going to happen.
Maybe they open the floodgates. Like, it's been every 3 weeks for a while, but they have all these heroes building up behind the wall, and then Epic's just like, well, bam, open the wall, and then
it wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't be like that's. Epic's used to making big changes, so just adding 4 or 5 heroes, I don't think that would be a big deal. We've dealt with massive changes in the past. We'll learn. We'll learn when it happens. But you look at these teams, and it's, do you ban Gideon first? Probably not, because then you make the other team ban Gideon, or it allows you to pick up Gideon. So you get to use your ban. If you're first ban, you get to use your ban on whatever you want, and then you make the second team ban Gideon, or I'm just going to pick it up, because of the 2 ban system we have right now. So I feel like Shinbi has to be banned for Azura's Rage, which if they're first ban, we haven't started the draft yet, but that requires one of the teams to ban out another strong hero, which opens up Grux or opens up Gideon. But after Regal's gameplay, I feel like you have to just ban that hero and then run the risk of a Grux or Gideon on the map. You know what I mean?
All right, well, let's just go ahead and find out. Let's start up this draft in 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, and a go, guys.
Wow.
This is the draft. You're going to see it. A thing is going to happen.
It did. It's right there. They can see it.
It's up. I told you stuff was going to happen. I told them something was going to happen. Hold on to your butts, guys. See, Azura Rage is debating. What do? They ban Shinbi. Good call. Good call. Guile Esports would be surprised if they don't ban Gideon right here. Are you going to be surprised? Tell me you're going to be. How surprised would you be if they don't ban Gideon?
On a scale to 1 to 10, if they hadn't banned Gideon, I would be a 10 surprised.
Shocked.
I would be. You would need the ambulance to get me out of here if they didn't ban the Gideon.
So Gideon, Shinbi bans. Take those heroes out of here, which means Grux is still available, because somebody can pick up Grux. We haven't seen Grux to great success. I like the fact that Aurora is going to be picked up again for Azura Rage. Appy did a lot of work. He just didn't have the follow-up from his team. So not a bad pickup from Azura Rage here. Guile Esports has 2 picks. Let's see what they go with.
The thing is, after the last match, I would have thought that Asura would have learned their lesson about picking Aurora so early in a draft, because you leave open the Wraith, and since there's only 1 ban for each side, Wraith is still in this player pool. And it's one of the huge counters to Aurora. So I would not be surprised at all to see Guile picking up the Wraith with their second pickup, or just anywhere in this draft, because it's such a good counter to Aurora.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be this pickup, or you just allow Azura Rage to pick it up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Wraith. There's Wraith picked up right there. So Rampage, Wraith picked up. Grux, Azura Rage says, look, we're taking Grux right now. Are we going to see that Deathcrawler Grux gameplay? And Azura Rage does not want them to be on Iggy and Scorch again, so Iggy and Scorch going to be picked up for Azura's Rage.
That's interesting. It'll give Asura a little bit more of a hold over the objectives, and it could help them pick up one of the things that we said they needed to change between game number 1 and number 2, is that they need to have better objective control, because that's really the only reason that Guile Esports beat them in the last one. The game was close, except for those Fangtooth. So maybe this Iggy and Scorch allows Asura Rage to maybe combine with the Aurora, get some damage with the Grux, and really put some pressure on these objectives against Guile.
Yeah, objective control, man. It's so important in MOBAs. It's so important to help you win games, and Guile Esports just has that control. Richter picked up for Guile Esports here. We've got a nasty. This is a scary combination. Rampage, Wraith, Richter, Bellica. The amount of control they have, hero control they have, is absurd.
I don't really know if I can come up with a better way of describing it. Absurd is actually perfect because it harkens back to the old CC chain compositions that we used to see with the Decker, the Rampage, and Bellica just thrown all in to the same pot. Put it all together, you got a hero that's probably just going to uninstall the game after about 10 seconds of CC chains. So, I mean, now you put the Wraith in there, and when he first came into the game, I was like, this hero is going to be utilized so much in competitive. And you look at this lineup for Guile Esports, it just synergizes so well with that hero that even though Asura Rage have some very good area control, the pickoff potential for Guile Esports is just so good, which is another thing that leads to those objectives.
Yeah, a power play, as Epic has been calling it with that
power play.
Power play.
Kill Fangtooth.
Kill 5v3 power play. Kill Fangtooth. Okay, Paragon. Guile Esports is going to have a ton of power plays if they utilize this comp correctly. Revenant picked up for the side of Asura Rage. I like this pickup. I think Revenant, because they don't have to deal with a Shinbi, I think Revenant is a great pickup for these guys. That gives them that control, gives them that additional damage that they need. I mean, Deathcrawler, is this going to be Deathcrawler Revenant? I've seen a lot of competitive players build Deathcrawler Revenant because it's a ton of damage. And if that's true, it's going to be double Deathcrawler with Grux and Revenant. So surprise, you're dead. Sereth picked up. That's a good pickup right there.
That's spicy.
I like that pickup. You can negate so much with Sereth being in that safe lane against Revenant and Narbash. That is a solid pickup for the side of Guile Esports and Sereth. Guys, there's your draft. Pith, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I just want to get right into this game. I want to see who takes game number 2. Do we get a game number 3? Do we go straight to the finals? And we'll tell you why after this game. Pith?
Oh boy, that's a lot of suspense, man.
I know. That's how we count me down, buddy.
3, 2, 1, go.
Boom! It's game time, chat. Game number 2, day number 2. Asura's Rage versus Guile Esports. Guile Esports picked up a first win because of objective control. Pith, introduce these players.
All right. Here on Asura Rage, once again, it's going to be Book Sinkerman playing the Spooky Narbash. We've got Ian Fidalgo. See if he goes for the Deathcrawler Grux build. We've got Ufel. A lot of people would describe him as a bot. He's playing the Revenant. Appy Picker handling the Aurora again. And then finally, Hi to You is getting to know a little bit of a fiery side of him, playing the Iggy and Scorch.
We've got Regal playing Sereth. Louis on that sexy Master Richter. Ghost in the mid lane on Wraith. Azzybear is going to be playing Bellica. And the Doc is going to be playing the Rampage. Rewind.
It's bad.
Back him up. Bouldered. Silenced. Hookarood, whatever you want to do. That mother's dead in the first minute of the game.
Oh man, Notch keeping it fresh here in the PCL. I mean, you kind of gotta expect that with the Rampage coming out of the junk. Yeah, I mean, you just have to kind of know, especially when you put 2 heroes in the mid lane. Revenant isn't gonna be very spicy to start, so I mean, you have to know that Rampage is going to be hiding behind that fog wall, and it's going to slow his jungle clear down a little bit, but it's just that early advantage that we're immediately going to see for Guile Esports.
You got to give that up to this combo. Is probably the scariest combo in Paragon. Wraith and Richter. It's like Wraith and Steel for me. That combination is just disgusting. You've got that back it up into a hook, into a silence, into an ultimate if you have it. Like, it's such a scary combination. These Ghost and Louis are being aggressive. They're pushing here. I already like this. Ghost is going down, trying to get a little bit of vision. It looks like on Ian there. Doesn't have the damage to kill him yet, but allow Ian or try and get aggressive into Ian. Book Sinkerman misses a thunk right there. If he would have landed that thunk, I think that would have been a dead
No, he
ghost.
hit the wall monsters.
The
He hit 'em
wall, that's
hard.
the most dangerous monster in the game. But you got to give it up to Ghost again, this control, allowing that vision, putting vision in the enemy jungle, seeing when they're low, if they can get aggressive. Keep Ian under farm. Try and engage on him, try and keep him behind, I think is the best play for these guys. Ghost again. Does he want this buff? He wants this buff. He can get it. He's going to miss the buff. Ian picks it up. He's going to hit him with that, back it up. Louis in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get hit with that thunk. Ian Fidalgo is going to land that smash and grab. Doc is there. The boulder does miss, and Louis is going to get away. Good rotation from Doc and his team being able to provide the Appy Picker is now in trouble as well.
Chastise won't quite be able to knock down Appy Picker. Just managed to get the Glacial Charge out of trouble there. It was so dangerous to go for that kind of rotation for Ghost and Lucer just because you're putting yourself right into a rat's nest of Asura Rage. They have so many heroes in that area, and Appy Picker can be very strong on the Aurora to start it out. He's got the Hoarfrost, lots of control if he can get that down. I think it's mostly down to Regal again, who's been doing a great job of making sure that the health pool for Appy Picker is low. It's limiting how much you can go into that engagement there.
Yeah. Azzy Bear versus High to You over here. We haven't talked about this lane because, well, it's
boring.
It's that's yeah, that's not what I was gonna say. But yeah, it's purely just a lane that's kind of back and forth. High to You has the lane control over Azzy. Once Azzy hits 5, gets that Neural Disruptor, expect to see him trying to make a play here because High to You using a lot of mana trying to control this wave and control this lane. But it does give Azzy that advantage because of the hero he's playing. Able to go in, knock up, Void Bomb, Mana Drain, Neural Disrupt, and blow that little robot's head clean off his shoulders.
That's a little bit graphic for our viewers there, but I think it would happen. I think that's about what we would see out of the Belka. We've got Azzy just playing that pretty well. I mean, we've come to expect it from him, but he's really not letting this Iggy get off the ground. The thing is, and we saw this a lot yesterday, as much as you try to keep the Iggy down, he's still going to manage to get in through the mid game and do a whole lot of objective control, which is what this game is all about. So we'll see how effective High to You is actually going to be, or how much Guile really can.
Great rotation from Ghost and Lucer. They're going to be able to hit that knockup. They've got the silence, back it up, already used. Is Louis going to be able to hit the hook? Hell yes, he is. And they're going to kill that little mech robot here, which means Ghost gets a gold buff. I don't think they have 5 Zechins online yet, so I don't expect them to go for the Fangtooth just yet, but expect Fangtooth play picked up here very soon.
I mean, if they do pick up 5 Flame of Zekins once again, I would imagine that the Fangtooth is going to be pretty high on Guile's list of priorities, but they don't have the Iggy to do the area control this time around, so it's a little bit more of a harder take for them than it was last time. It's easier for Asura Rage to get some kind of area control around the pit with all those turrets that Guile unfortunately don't have for them this time around, so maybe we won't see the 5 Flame of Zekins just because it's not as easy to take that.
Right. Guile and Regal and Appy Picker over here going head to head. I mean, I give this lane to Regal. I give the ability to deal with Aurora to Regal. He's got the damage. He's got a way to completely negate the ultimate if he needs to. And I feel like this is a lane for Regal where he can pick this up.
Ian Fidalgo's going to get hit with they back it up into the skewer by Lucer. He's trying to get the knockup to get away, but Ian Fidalgo is just in so much trouble. The turret almost saving him for a little bit, but now it's going to put High to You in even more danger. Hooked back by Lucer, and it's very easy to just smush that rock into his tiny little skull, taking Azzy out of the fight, and possibly opening up Fangtooth for Guile Esports.
They're not. They're
Okay,
not 100% on why. Is it the lack of Zekin?
I think it is.
What it is? It's got to be the lack of the Zech here. I fully expected them to go after that buff. Maybe it was damage, lack of mana, and of the fact that ultimates were used, and just put them in that spot where if they got engaged on, they were a little bit too nervous to go for it. Orange buff is out. That's going to be picked up by Ghost, so he now has that additional dot damage. Doc getting aggressive. I just love the little Just Grux standing in front of the buff over here, just looking around. He actually moves. That is just the shell of a Grux. Grux of Christmas Pass, if you will. Engagement into the enemy jungle here.
Looks like been trying to go after Ghost, does manage to get the smash and grab. There's a cryocism by Appy Picker. Actually doesn't end up hitting Ghost though. And for some reason, it's looking like Asura having a difficult time trying to figure out where they want to go with this fight. Azzy making his way out of here as the Belka and puts down a Void Bomb right on top of Ian Fidalgo. That's going to blow him up as well. Back it up onto Ufel, looking to get the carry out of this one as well. No marauding for you. Void Bomb onto 2. You've got perfect placement on that one as well from Azzy. He's working on so little mana, but it doesn't seem to matter for him, and that will open up what should be a pretty easy Fangtooth for Guile Esports.
Solid engagement coming out of Guile Esports. Lucer, I mean, Appy Picker came in. He landed that ultimate onto 3. He missed Ghost somehow, but he did hit 3 targets. I thought for sure this was not going to go in Guile Esports' favor. Lucer coming out of that fog wall and landing that skewer onto 2 big targets, helping them pick up 2 kills. Of course, this means they're going to be picking up 5,000 golds.
Ooh.
And power for everybody. Smash and grab from Ian. Ian, you don't have Death Crawler online. Get out of here.
He doesn't have anything right now. He just throws in the smash and grab for a little bit of, hey, at least I can still hit this against Guile, right? And then immediately backs up because he didn't have too much on his team to help him out at all.
So big advantage over there for the side of Guile Esports. Gives them a 10,000 gold lead, 45,000 to 35,000. They've got a kill advantage. It's 8-0. Not one person has been killed on the side of Guile Esports yet, unless that's a bug. But I don't think anybody's been killed.
I don't
so
remember.
Guile Esports playing this much better than they played the first game. Instead of prioritizing that Fangtooth, they're prioritizing picks and hero control. And then once they have that advantage, going for the Fangtooth. And this is a team. We saw them game number 1. Early game started out amazing for Azura's Rage. The aggression was there. The pickups were there. Guile focused heavily on Fangtooth. Game number 2, they're like, you think you understand what we're going to do? You're wrong. We're going to control the heroes and then pick up advantages that way. And that's exactly what they've done here. Versatile team. Scary team to play against. And I would say one of the best in the competitive scene.
I think they'll try to make a play for themselves being called the best in this PCL. We do have a couple, I would say notably Team Oxygen stepping away from the competitive scene for a bit due to the status of the game. But, I mean, we still have Reborn, which we may see against Guile Esports in the future of this event. So I would think that, you know, they beat Think Twice last PCL. They might try to make a play for themselves being called the best of Paragon in this event.
You look at these players, you look at the way they play, you look at their rotations, you look at their objective control, you look at their map control, and it's hard to not call them one of the best teams of the competitive scene because what we've seen them do over the past couple of weeks. They're a fantastic team that plays well together. Back it up into Ufel. Boulder, Ufel didn't stand a chance. He fell. That's who fell.
He fell.
He is now dead and off of the map, which allows them to possibly push this tier 1 tower here. Regal still dealing with. I like the change they made. We didn't notice it. I'm going to point it out now.
Right.
Appy Picker switched it up, is now dealing with Azzy Bear, and High to You on Iggy is now dealing with Regal Sereth. So they changed it up to allow Regal possibly give him a little bit of trouble having to fight into these turrets because he doesn't have that ranged damage to kill these turrets. So Regal has to get up close and personal, which could be a little bit scary for him. Tier 1 tower falls. Vision from Ghost onto the Ghost. Don't lazy back. What are you doing? They've got vision on Fangtooth, but look at this. Azura Rage knows this target is up, and they're already headed towards to try and pick up their first Fangtooth of this series.
Absence here though is Azzy is well, actually the Iggy. He's not played by Azzy any longer. He's not actually missing from this fight. So Appy Picker comes in with the crowd, gets it out on the Ghost and Azzy. They still have to do something here. Ghost is doing so well, getting the snipes through the walls, not getting hit by the Horfrost. Double sizing assault by Azzy as the Revenant comes out of the Reckoning. He's gonna get sniped down, and Appy, the last to fall along this Fangtooth. He's gonna get hit by another beautiful seismic assault from Azzy, and this should open up the Fangtooth quite clearly. for Guile, dominating around the pit once again.
You got to give it up to Ghost. Ghost got hit with that Reckoning. He was able to survive. They pick up the kill onto Ufel. Amazing seismic assaults coming out of Azzy there, allowing them to, of course, control that. One of the changes that came in the last patch was that when you leash a objective, or Prime or Fangtooth, they don't instantly start to heal quickly. They heal, but it's not as drastic as it was before. So they leash that target, and it allowed them, yes, that Guile Esports was damaged, but they were able to turn around, pick up a second Fangtooth pretty much, I mean, within seconds, because it was already below 50% health. They pick up 4 kills, second Fangtooth. Nobody dies again. It's 13-0. They've got 13 kills, no deaths. Lucaire picking up this jungle buff. Do these guys want to continue to get aggressive? Ghost and Louis are in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, they're hanging out in the river. Was taking a look at Azzy Bear for a second. Ghost is going to get knocked up in the Crash Bang Boom. Seismic Assault? Hello? Almost making me be unable to talk with how strange it was that Azzy decided to put it over there. But Lucaire wants to get into this fight once again. Ida coming around from the backside, hits the rock and gets the kill on the Book Syncman. Ufel's going to fall as well. Regal is not going to let these guys get out of it. The one fight that he decides to join is going to be absolute decimation once again from Guile Esports, and they might be thinking tier 2 at this point.
It's going to be a depending on which tower they go after. I mean, we're still only 13 minutes into the game. Death timers are super short. I like the call of them trying to deny farm in the jungle. Keep Ian Fidalgo from picking up any of that farm. They pick up 2 of his camps and they back out. Yes, Ghost falls, but the Doc shows up. He pops that ultimate. He's got a 3-second rumble, which deals damage and slows. Depending on your build, it's insane damage. Plus, he's landing those boulders, allowing his team to pick up those kills there. Good rotation coming out of Guile Esports. Great counter engagement. Takes the fight, only losing 1. Takes the jungle farm. And now they're setting up and really can do whatever they want at this point. Louis is right here trying to bait out. All right, he shows himself in lane. I was going to say they're trying to bait out this Aurora. That's a hard target to bait, try and pick up a kill on. They do have a lot of ways to control it. Azzy getting aggressive over here in the enemy jungle. Ian knows it's coming and he just backs off.
Yeah, he knows that his jungle is no longer his. And one thing that I kind of talked about in the last fight a little bit, Regal getting involved in the fight. I mean, he's generally not been joining his team too much at all, but as soon as he gets in there, I mean, he's kind of been the prolific Seraph player for a while. If anybody's going to pick this hero up in a competitive game, it's probably going to be Regal, and he's going to play it excessively well. See him going on the high to you right here. He's just been so dominant on it and was a huge boon to Guile in that last fight, really swinging things to their favor.
Yeah, really. I mean, just playing well. He's just such a bully in this lane. And like we said, I mean, he was dominant on Seraph. He's playing very well he was dominant on Shinbi, and he's playing very well on Seraph right now. Ghost, they tried to pick up the kill in the mid lane there, 3 rotating in. Ghost was able to just get out. That's such a hard target to gank with that backing up.
And Guile wants to fight
and of course, that long range poke.
You've got Ida coming around. Just brings him to the low ground. Horfrost comes through. It's going to keep Guile Esports there for a while, but Ian Fidalgo is being completely controlled out of this fight. Seismic Assault only on the Book, and Book is about to go down. Ufel's gone into the Reckoning. Lucaire is going to chase that boy away. Appy Picker comes in with the cryo, almost getting down Ghost. The Horfrost goes down, and Ghost is just going to stand right there until that ice goes away, baby. And another easy fight for Guile. Don't talk about it.
I think it was fantastic. I can't just, it was so well done, Pith. God dang it, Pith, you're super cute right now. Well done, buddy. Another Fangtooth going to be picked up for the side of Guile Esports here. They pick up 4 kills, or 3 kills yet again. Fangtooth, this is Fangtooth number 3. They've got the gold, they've got the power, they've got the movement speed boost, they got the non-hero damage. They've picked it all up. Next one will give them 8 power, and then a continued power after that. They're controlling the objectives. They're making these team fights look stupid easy. 21 deaths on the side of Asura Rage. 89,000 gold to 65,000 gold. This is Guile's Esports game to throw. That's how they lose this game. They have to throw. It's the only way it's going to happen.
I want to talk about yesterday when the stack were playing against Asura, and game number 2 is when the stack really took advantage of keeping Ian Fidalgo down and making sure that his jungle was completely taken over. They did a little bit of that this match Guile did, but the main thing is, in all these fights, Ian Fidalgo isn't being allowed to have any kind of effect at all, which converse to Idek, who's having a massive effect in these fights. I mean, we're really seeing a difference between two junglers here, and Guile Esports are doing such a good job of making sure that the enemy jungler doesn't have any effect at all, which is really helping their cause.
So we don't have five Flame Possessions on the side of Guile Esports, but we do have 4 on the side of Asura Rage. Grux, Aurora, Iggy, and Book Sacrament all have those Zetians online. 2 on the side of sorry, my allergies just kicked in. 2 on the side of Guile Esports for Regal and
They should put
Doc.
that as an effect on the card. It may give you allergies.
The control of this map is fully in control of Guile Esports. If they find another pick, I fully expect them to go for or Prime.
Oh no!
Book Sacrament has no idea he's being
know.
flanked upon. He had no idea. He's dead. Rip that
completely.
guy.
There has to be a crowd. It's going to come out on the 3 from Appy Picker. He's doing so well, keeping Ghost kept under control, but he's still managing to get away. He's used the surprise. They don't have any vision of it, and Ian Fidalgo, he really can't stay alive long enough to have an Outlander scout on himself either. Appy Picker and Ian will get away, or do they? Appy Picker trying to use the Glacial Charge to get out, but he goes right into a rock from Idek. The man, the myth, the legend coming in with the plays. As soon as that back it up comes through, Idek is ready with the rock, and like you said, this could open up OP for Guile.
I think they're a little bit too low. Ghost had to back. I just expect them to probably take an objective. Azzy Bear over here, just casually 1v2ing.
1v2ing, getting a kill. What?
You picking up a kill on Ian and applying pressure to this lane. IDU is going to be in some trouble. Regal has popped his ultimate. There's the ult, but it really doesn't matter at this point. He doesn't have the damage. He only has 1 turret down. Rotation's there. Ghost comes out and just says, my kill, and secures it with that long-range snipe.
Now he says, knock, knock. Hello, it's death at the door.
Now they go for this? Yep, now they go for this.
Man, Guile Esports, it's just amazing how they're able to control all of these fights, control every single part of the map. I mean, last time it was with Regal pushing with the Shinbi. Now it's with Regal and Idek arguably having fantastic games again. And it's just amazing how the entire team of Guile are able to control every single objective on the map, rarely giving up anything to Asura, and even coming to this tete-a-tete at the green buff between Azzy and Appy Picker, where Azzy's the one who picks up the green buff away from the Aurora, while the rest of his team take down the inhib.
I mean, why not? It's there. We've got our Prime, we've got an advantage, we've got minions, we've got control. This is our game. They've made it very clear that Azura's Rage honestly doesn't stand a chance at what's going on here. For me, Appy Picker has tried to really, really help his team. He just doesn't have the follow-up. 2 inhibitors down. Yes, there's 5 up, but there's so much damage coming out of these guys. Book Sacrament down instantly. Hello?
Hello? They hardly even need to try for that. Back it up and then everything else misses. Not generally how you see that work, but it doesn't really end up mattering. Guile Esports take game number 2 of this best-of-3 semifinal, putting them into the grand final of PCL 11. I
mean, what did we just watch? Call your local authorities. Asura Rage just got murdered live on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. That was 2 games in a row where Guile Esports just played perfectly. Game number 1, they had perfect control over the objectives. Game number 2, they were picking up team fights and taking every fight without question. I didn't feel like they were challenged. They had a 50,000 gold lead. They picked up 4 Fangtooths. That was their game. They played so well. I'll say it again. Guile Esports, one of the best teams in competitive play right now.
Absolutely. We will actually be able to see who is the best team in competitive play right now, because you may have heard, you may not have heard, that Arctic Wolves unfortunately had to forfeit their semifinal bout with Reborn due to some players not being around. So that means that our grand final is actually set right now. We have Guile Esports versus Reborn set to play for the PCL 11 championship. It's going to be epic. This is a wow. It's going to be
this is going to be a nasty match.
It will be. It's a matchup we've been waiting for since PCL 10 when Guile Esports took the crown over Think Twice. And honestly, I cannot be more excited for this matchup.
I am incredibly excited to see this play. Someone just asked in chat, and I'm going to point it out right now. Reflex says, how can you know which one is the best team without TT or Oxygen? Well, first of all, Oxygen's not playing, so they actually don't count as a team because they haven't been in an event for a while. And Guile Esports handily beat Think Twice 2 weekends ago.
On NA servers.
But they still beat them, though. It's not that...
Well, also, if we
Think Twice
is
won events on...
You know, Reborn were beaten by Think Twice in the PML on NA servers. So...
Right. So you have a team that has beat some of the top players and beat the top teams, and they've done very well in scrims and whatnot. And we just saw them dominate 2 games in a row. We're going to call them one of the best teams in competitive because of their play style and what they've done. What we're going to do, guys, is take a quick break. We're going to be jumping into the finals. Guile Esports versus Reborn. We'll see you guys in just a minute.